this started. So, welcome back, everyone. So, last that we left off, you had all traveled after long discussions, from the heart of Karnatasita, from speaking with the great spirit of the tree. Many conversations were had. You learned a little bit more about the history of the world, how it came to be, what has changed the landscape here in Taurinia. You kind of learned the Oct are more of a plague or a bane on the land that you call home than previously had thought or even conceived of. But with that information gleaned, the knowledge that the spirit had was incomplete. It was not all there. Parts of it are missing, and parts of it will return, as they said. Feeling comfortable and safe and a little rested at the time, you made your way once again through the tunnels, passageways, halls, through the courtyards, the streets, back to the exterior, where in an unexpected arrival you met with Volderm's old crew, who came here to finish some business that they had failed to complete in the past. After a well-fought battle, you had all defeated them, and the killing blow being brought forth to Korvik. But in the flash of an eye, you watched as Volderm put his hands out, spoke some words, and the life returned to Korvik. And with that, I would like for you, Volderm, to describe what bringing someone back to life looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I think he knelt or kneels, depending on which tense we're using, over Korvik, and pulls out the diamonds from his pocket, and they kind of disintegrate into these motes of flickering light and enter, through his nostrils and his mouth, and kind of literally breathes life back into him.
Okay. So, you all
Diamonds are a
watch
good man's best friend.
as this fine gentleman, Korvik, first mate, life expands from his chest. He begins to breathe and just starts coughing up blood. And if I recall correctly, he was not bound, he was not gagged, he was just a corpse on the ground.
Yeah, I didn't think this through.
Yep.
You're correct.
Yep. He immediately looks around and looks for his weapon, looks up at you, and is terrified. What do you do?
I wouldn't do anything if I were you. Just lay down and let the grown-ups talk. And then I just kind of nudge him to lay back down.
He takes a look at the situation around him and just realizing that his compatriots are dead and he is still left around, just kind of looks at you, that just kind of that look of defeat, as though he knows he's in a bad situation and his life is literally in your hands.
I give him a big exaggerated wink.
He just lays there and looks defeated and goes, "All right. Well, it's your turn. What do you do with me?"
Well, I had some rather creative ideas before everything went down. But now I'm thinking you might be more valuable alive, so thinking I'm going to tie you up and throw you in the hold and decide exactly what information I need and how to extract it. Or you could, try to do something, which might not end well.
He just lets out a long sigh and just lays there in defeat. It's at this point you could safely, insight that he's. Yeah, you've got him. He's yours.
Yeah, I kind of, I guess Voldern would stand up and look to the rest of the group, and this is complicated and rather personal, but I understand if any of you have your own questions at this point.
Well, I mean, it's obvious, he's some kind of bastard and wronged you. I'm assuming he took your ship.
Indeed he did.
Well,
while they're talking, I'm going to start tying him up.
Oh, yeah, that's probably smart.
All right. Nertho, you begin to tie him up. He does not resist at all.
I'm going to...
Isn't that the first question? Where's your ship?
Didn't we? I think we saw it last session, right? Like it's over there. Like.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Okay.
Yes, you did see it. The red hook is parked right outside there. A little war torn, looking rough, but.
Does it look like there's more crew aboard?
From where you're standing, no, there does not appear to be any crew aboard. But you do know, again, Voldern, you do know that as much as there is that lower platform where everyone tends to be at, there is storage and space above for cargo, your crew, transportation, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'll turn back to Korvac and say, okay, so is the rest of the crew alive, well, and on the ship? And did they go along with you because they wanted to, or because they were afraid of you?
Kind of looks up at you, and his hands are his hands tied behind or in front of him?
Behind.
Okay. He looks over and goes, "They're up there. Sometimes a blade works, sometimes coin works. It's for you to figure out."
Yes, I'm sure we'll have a lot of in-depth conversations. Suffice to say, there's enough people on board to fly the thing. I mean, now that we killed all of your little lackeys.
Aye, they're up there.
Could I get an insight check on how he reacted to all your little lackeys?
Go for it. Go ahead and give me an insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he appears to be telling the truth. You don't
Okay.
You don't see a lie or an untruth in his words. What you do sense from him is there is a genuine fear for what he thinks that Voldern is going to do to him, but he's putting on a show of bravado to try to fight that fear. So,
well then, and I do apologize for dragging you all into my mess, but it seems like there are bigger, world-shaking, ancient tree spirit issues to solve?
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, so, what are you going to do now?
That is a good question. I can't help but think we have 2 capable crews and 2 sturdy airships. Perhaps a division of labor might be in order here? It seems there's some urgency to this second tree. Seems important to somebody.
It's important to everybody.
That's what I've gathered is. Really to the whole world.
What's everyone's passive insight? Out of curiosity. It'll be 10 plus your charisma. Let's say wisdom. Or wisdom.
It's wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom, sorry.
23.
10 plus
Your wisdom modifier.
just the modifier. Okay.
If
My
we are
passive
proficient.
insight's 15.
It'll say it in the
11.
parentheses in your character sheet too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got a 19 then.
19. Oh,
11.
11? All right.
Ozzy's trying to bring his bone inside again.
Riva, what was yours?
15 passive.
15. So, actually, I think everyone except Redwin would notice that, and you would pick up, I'd say Nertho, Voldurm, you would pick up on this immediately. You just mention a second tree, and you all can't help but notice that Corvick kind of gives a snicker. Just a slight twitch at the mouth, like a half-crooked smile.
Oh, that's interesting.
What do you know about this tree?
Well, wouldn't it be a shame if your little god lost his little friend there? Should be interesting to see what happened to the rest of the land, wouldn't it? Just half-crooked smile.
Do you want the whole world to burn?
Well, some things are worth burning. You know something about
Or maybe
that,
he
wouldn't you?
thinks he's. Maybe
Who is
thinks
he
he's gonna get
addressing?
a deal out of this.
Yeah, at the end there.
He was addressing Riva.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone told you this, but we all live here, you fool.
Oh. Some of us do, but no, it's fine.
He's got a deal.
It's fine.
We should get going.
Yes, and Corvick, I feel like I have to remind you that only years of loyal history with me is keeping you alive right now, so maybe ease up a little?
Well, you know me. I'm a straight shooter.
Well, I thought I did.
Trying to put on that bravado even more. But, you know, sometimes you find better employment. So,
Who are you working for?
you know, let's just say a friend sends his regards. You caught the eye of someone you shouldn't have. But, well,
Who was it? Someone in the Oct?
those rotten bastards? Oh no. You caught someone else's eye. Messing in plans and interfering in things.
Is it here?
Well, unfortunately, he's not here to say hello, but he sends his regards. And
So it's Tyr, or whoever Tyr is working for. You work for the servants of the Amaranthine, don't you?
go ahead and make an insight check. Still got that half-crooked smile.
Would this be an appropriate place to give myself guidance?
I would say, I mean, yeah, Sure. Why not?
Look at you.
Thanks, guidance.
Yeah. That crooked smile is all you know, all you need to know that he appears to be working for who you think he's working for. Or at least it's a good inclination that he's working for Tyr. He kind of just looks at you with that crooked smile and goes, he sends his regards to the north. So, enjoy your time. And,
Oh, we are going to have words.
just sighs. Well, I'm ready for your words.
But more importantly, there are now 2 trees to protect, it would seem.
And it seems like these servants of the Amaranthine are somehow involved. And don't like trees.
Seems fairly criminal given how rare trees are these days.
Agreed. Do you think they're trying to cut them down for matches?
Something of the like.
Okay, so are we splitting up and getting on these ships? We should probably check out your ship just to see if there's any more disloyal followers of Korvek aboard. I don't know what to do with that.
That does seem prudent. I'd hate to be ousted from my own ship again.
Well, are we going to sit here and chat all day, or are we going to go have that private conversation?
Well, you... hush. For now. You're going to sit there quietly. I think the rest of us are going to check out the Red Hook, if I'm reading the room correctly.
Has anyone searched Korvek yet? We might want to do that before we put him in the hold by himself.
Yeah,
I
I
was thinking. Yep, there we go.
Go for it. Go ahead, and whoever's searching...
I will guide him.
All right.
Nice.
Yep. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Whoever is searching Korvek.
Guide me first.
I'm trying to remember how to play this game.
T. Hover T. Target. There you go.
There we go. And oh, we're not on the. I can't. You'll just have to roll a d4 and add it.
Yeah, you can just tell it to add a d4 when
Go
you
for
do
it.
the roll,
You
I
got
think.
guidance.
Yep. I got it.
Yep.
All right. A 27.
Dang.
Nice.
All right, bend over and spread them.
Pulls out a glove.
You whip out your weapon.
He had a butt dagger. I knew it.
No. You take the time. You take your time thoroughly investigating Korvek,
And roughly.
and aggressively, might I add. And the only thing, sorry, I have to find it. Apologize.
Worries.
Maybe set your owl to keep an eye on him while we're gone.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The only thing that you find on him of interest beyond his armor, his weapons on the ground, he's got 500 gold in his pockets, in a pouch. You find a symbol of a purple flower.
Do I know what this purple flower symbolizes?
I would say go ahead and make a religion check.
Religion.
I'm going to
Not-
say...
I was hoping for history, but religion.
Yeah, this would be religion.
Alright,
I would like to cast Detect Magic on that or Identify later.
Might be worth detecting magic on just all of his stuff.
20. Thinking about your newfound knowledge, the books that you have read in the recent days, you get the sense that that symbol is of one of the deities that you recently learned about. You're not exactly sure, but it bothers you for a moment. You take a second look at this symbol, and there's something odd about it. It is a crystalline flower, but you notice that it has in the center of it. It almost looks like a twisted seed sitting in the middle, which it reminds you of one of the would be considered the good deities you recently learned about, but there's something off about it and you don't believe it to be that. You're not sure, but it doesn't sit well with you.
And as I was going through, and I come across the pouch of gold, I just, without looking, I toss it over my shoulder to where I last saw Voldurm standing. So I believe this belongs to you.
Well, oh, okay. I'll try to catch it.
I rolled a 21 on a dexterity check to throw it.
Yeah, Voldurm grab it with ease. You have 500 more gold.
Okay, I had rolled to see if I grabbed it with these, but okay.
You definitely do.
Nice. Well, okay. Consider my costs recuperated in terms of bringing this one back to life. And I kind of poke Korvek with my toe.
You poke him, and Riva, as you finish inspecting and pulling the...
Yeah, stripping him of all his weapons.
Yeah,
and...
his weapons on the ground. You pull that symbol off of him. I'll throw that item in your inventory later. And as you kind of finish up, he just kind of looks at you and goes, "Your hands are a little bit softer than your brother's, aren't they?"
Well, I mean, we can't all be bastards like him.
Well, he sends his regards.
Oh, really? I'd love to go pay him a visit.
Just
Give him my
smiles.
warmest in person.
Not to disrupt this, but to me it seems like Korvek's trying to distract and delay us. I think we maybe gag him, put him in the hold, and get on our merry way.
Yes, he does seem intent on teasing.
Stab him. You said stab him the wrong way.
Hey now, Riva, like, heated combat's one thing, but he's a prisoner now.
I know. But just a little bit. Just
Let me heal him back up first, and then you can stab him.
no. That's all. Well, I do think that we should investigate your ship. You know.
Yes, that seems wise. He's not going anywhere. And he knows what I would do to him if he did.
Oh,
We can always have him.
And I've definitely
the
got
lead.
more questions for him.
We can always put him in the lead.
On your feet.
You kind of...
Oh, yeah, I like that.
kind of force him up, tied behind the hands, able to walk. Yeah, so you've got him. Are you going to lead him through to the Red Hook?
Yep. Push him. forward to the Red Hook.
So you you move him forward, forcibly having him march to the Red Hook. You come upon the main deck, which is it's interesting, where most ships have their hull and their hold below. This one is actually integrated into the it's almost like a large balloon on top of it, but it's interesting. The deck is laid with weaponry. There is cargo strapped down. There is, clearly embattlements, but there's a single ladder leading up to the space above. Do you investigate this area?
Voltum.
Yeah, I'm more interested in finding the crew.
Okay.
So I guess if they're clearly not here, so they would be up in the main hold, right?
Yep. So you've got that singular ladder going up. Are you gonna move up it yourself, or are you gonna untie Korvek's hands so he can manage things himself?
I don't want to untie him personally. I'm open to other thoughts.
Do you think he'd trap his own ship? Oh, your ship?
Well, until a few months ago, I didn't think that my second mate and friend of many years would betray me, kick me off my ship, and then take it to do who knows what with this guy named Tyr, so I don't know what to expect.
If there's a ladder and a hatch, right?
Yes. Yep. There's a.
I wanna investigate the hatch.
Go for it. Give me an investigation check.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
All right. You take your time thoroughly investigating the ladder, inspecting it. It seems safe. You begin to move up it rung by rung to the singular hatch above, and you begin to feel your way around the it's one of those circular latches that you see like on submarines upside down, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You begin to inspect
classic air submarine.
Yeah, air submarine, reverse air submarine, and you begin to inspect it and give it a slight turn. It creaks, and you begin to continue to turn it. It doesn't appear to be trapped. From what you can tell, what you can hear, and what you can see, it seems safe. Do you open it?
Yes, I open it.
All right. So you open this hatch, and the first thing that you see is interesting. You know how on a normal airship, like the one that you possess, you would walk in, there'd be a hallway, and there's doors lined left and right. This comes
Hey Ryan, bring your mic just a hair closer.
Is that a little?
Yeah,
Sorry
you're
about
cut
that.
out.
Let me change that sensitivity real quick. Is that better?
Yes.
Hopefully that's better. Okay. I had to change my threshold. So you open it up, and the first thing that you all see, to you, Voldurn, this is a welcome sight. It is a open room with 4 separate doors. There are tables and chairs that are strewn about this space. Not strewn about. They're placed about this space in a way that looks like a comfortable meeting area, a place to rest, play cards. There is a bar off in the corner, and kind of what's interesting to you, Riva, and you've not seen something like this. The actual chairs to the tables, they're on sliders, so that way if the ship were to meet any type of odd turbulence or something, they're not going to go flying. They're just going to either slide back and forth. And it almost looks like they latch at some point. The chairs are affixed to the ground, to the floor, and there are 4 doors across the room. Voldurn, you falling behind, kind of entering the space past Riva, and you recognize these doors. There are the first door on your left is the captain's quarters. The second door is the crew's quarters. The third door is used for the transportation of people, if you need to. And the fourth door is a storage hold. What would you like to do?
Volderm's already jumped over the bar and is grabbing some glasses and seeing if there's anything still left in stock. Because it's home sweet home, baby.
Yeah. As always, it is well stocked. Glasses are clean. Everything's in order. As though you were just here yesterday. It appears that despite the mutiny and the betrayal, they've kept it up to shape.
But where's your crew?
Good question. Korvek, where did you stash them?
You kind of holler down, and he looks up and just kind of gives you that crooked smile.
Well, fine then. Be an asshole the rest of your life. I'm still gonna knock back a drink, because this feels good.
So, yeah, you grab a familiar decanter full of some of the same brackish liquor that you've enjoyed most of your traveling days, and you pour a glass. It's familiar. It's home.
Yeah, they'll look up. He'll just make eye contact with the rest of the group. Anyone else?
Maybe when we're done.
Well, either the crew's not here or they're not going anywhere. But sure. Let's go check out the crew quarters, I guess.
Yeah.
Pop open after I take my slug.
So,
Check out what's behind the door.
So right now I have Volderm and Riva. Is anyone else coming up here? Jared,
I will.
go ahead.
I will follow Riva.
Oh yeah, I thought we were all up here at this.
yeah.
Sorry.
So you all begin to move up.
I had to say, Jareth is down with the prisoner.
Oh, Jareth kind of, he agrees to stay with the prisoner. He also offers to drag him up rung by rung and just see where his head hits.
Well, well, he can probably just.
I like that idea. I don't know.
And Riva likes that idea.
I mean, it's funny. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So you just watch as Jareth just gives this wide smile, gives a wink to you, Volderm, and just affixes the rope to the hands tied behind Korvik's back to his belt and begins climbing up the rung. Korvik, realizing what's about to happen, begins to start to struggle. And you just watch as Jareth, who is of same strength, begins to just climb up the ladder as Korvik's feet lift off the ground. And slowly, you just watch as he starts to just slam his face in the side of the ladder and spin. Jareth gives him a good kick to spin him faster and keeps crawling up.
Oh, that's perfect.
After,
And on par with Jareth.
Yep.
Yeah.
A minute or two of amusement as Jareth comes up. He pulls Korvik up the rest of the way and just smiles at him. Korvik looks worse for the wear. He is just, after dying, coming back to life. He's not having a good time. He's catching his breath more than Jareth is at this point. Jareth just kind of affixes him to a chair and just kind of stands behind him, sword at the ready.
So meanwhile, anything behind door number 1?
So, interestingly enough, as everyone enters this space, you all expect it to be a lot smaller than it is. This is a spacious area. This is, somewhere in the size of a small tavern. It doesn't make sense that something like this would fit in this space. It's odd, right? And Volderm, you open door number 1, the crew's quarters, and oddly enough, you open it, you look through, and indeed it's the majority of your own crew. Their backs are up against the far wall, and they look terrified.
Are they like bound or tied up, or are they just hanging out?
They're not bound, but go ahead. What's your passive perception?
19.
19. They're not bound, but they do look worse for the wear, as though some of them have been beaten or tortured or abused in different ways for compliance, it looks like. Yeah, they're looking a little rough, and a gasp of fear as that door opens. They move from this place of being scared and afraid to almost relief washing over them. And one of them just kind of goes, and you recognize this is your this is your head chef, and he just kind of goes, Volderm, is that you?
Oh, yes, I'm back. Don't you worry.
There's just this group sigh of relief, and they begin moving forward.
I knew I was a good boss.
There's about a dozen of them right there. They look relieved. They look, excited to have their captain back, as a group would, after a long stint of them being missing.
So, can I tell at a glance? Is this everybody?
It's everyone that you remember. No one seems to be missing. Some are a little worse for the wear than the others, but they're all here.
All right, Frankie. Now tell me, is there anybody else on board? Any undesired additions?
We glad to have you back, Captain, but we fly the ship and we get shoved back in here once our shifts are over. I don't think so. Is he dead?
Oh, no. I have plans for him. He's out in the room. I mean, you could feel free to take a swing at him if you want. Just leave him alive.
I'll take a swing. He starts just cracking his knuckles. But
as for the rest of you, well, quit sitting around. We have a ship to make ready. Up to.
They all let out a resounding, just a joined cry of relief and excitement, and they all begin to push past all of you down the hatch. A couple of them give, a punch to Korvik in the face. Jareth just kind of laughs. A couple of them slap him. One punches him right in the nuts, and they just go back down to the base of the ship to the main level, and they start preparing everything.
It feels good to be in charge.
So, with that, the crew about their business beginning to ready up. Frankie gets behind the bar and starts pouring drinks for you and your compatriots at this point. They all kind of give a casual, as they go by, a thank you to all of you. It's just making the assumption that you're with Volderm at this point.
I want to, Revo kind of motions to Volderm to come off to the side.
Yeah, sure.
So, not that it's currently my primary concern, but he knows my brother.
Yes.
Now he is yours. But if you could manage to find a way to glean that information from him, well, I'll be more than grateful.
Yes, this is all news to me too, and I will add it to a long list of questions that I have to ask him, although if he continues to behave as he has, it may take a while to peel that onion, yes?
Oh. Undoubtedly. I think... where do we go next?
I had some thoughts on that. It seems like we should take one ship to the second tree. It seems like it's in imminent danger. I was thinking I could remain here and keep an eye on this one and pry what information I can about your brother from Korvek and everyone else in town, I still have contacts to leverage. We have 2 airships and 2 crews to work with. We might as well use them both.
It makes sense. We need a way to either get in contact, scheduled meeting point.
I don't suppose any of you have that sort of magic at your disposal? Opening it up to the larger group if they're still around. AKA, does anyone know sending?
Yeah.
I mean, I might at best be able to send you a bird. If we could find a bird.
If we can find a bird. Maybe we should go shopping for a bird.
Well, I can send him a bird.
Or are there, could we get scrolls or something? Like, is that a thing in this world that's common enough that we could stock up?
Oh, well, in Picos and Pios, yes.
Yeah.
Not to say that they aren't attainable outside of that. I would say, Redwin, go ahead and make me an intelligence check at advantage. Or Arcana, your choice.
Yes, my other question, I think, might be, if I let Redwin examine this necklace long enough, do you think she could figure out how it works?
Oh.
Yeah, Redwin, I would say it's given time, no more than a day or so, with the right parchment and inks, you would be able to craft a scroll that would be able to do exactly that. Essentially, you could craft a scroll of sending or a message.
I was just gonna say we had one of those, but I don't think I ever really examined it before we.
You still
Used it.
have one, and it's never
Okay.
been used. It's on Jareth, actually. If
Okay.
memory serves.
Well, can't wizards just, turn a scroll into a thing that they can put in their spellbook that they can have every day?
Yeah, I don't think we have a wizard though.
You do.
Well, we have a 1 level. Yeah, that's
You have
right.
2
I'm a
wizards.
wizard too. Yeah, I'm a wizard.
Yeah,
That's
there you go.
true. But do we have spell slots high enough to cast it?
No.
That's the question. Yeah.
Message
What is sending?
level 1.
Message is 120 feet.
Sending is
5th, I believe.
3.
3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 3rd level spell, 5th level character.
Let me see.
Oh,
Have
wait.
the slots, but not the prepared space for it.
So, Redwin could actually cast that spell.
Yeah. So yeah, Redwin, if you can cast 3rd level spells,
Yep, she can learn it.
you can learn it.
How does that
can-
factor into the amount of prepared spells I can have, though?
You just don't have it. You'd have to change what you have prepared for that day
Okay,
if you wanted
yeah.
to cast it.
Okay.
But you could learn it.
I'll learn
Well,
it.
it's a 3rd level wizard spell.
Yep. It'll
Yep.
take a day.
Yeah.
Oh, and for your reference, this is what that crystalline symbol looked like around his neck.
Ooh,
Creepy.
it's very creepy.
Yeesh.
Oh, there it is.
Now that's around whose neck?
Corvex, which Riva
That
now
was
has in his
around his
possession.
neck. I have that in my possession.
Is that the ring or the?
That's
Because
his
the ring was a flower.
That was the symbol on a necklace that Corvic had.
So he's got a necklace and a ring.
No, there was no ring.
Oh, I thought you said it was a ring.
Nope.
Sorry.
Yep, no worries.
All right, so Korvek got us up to some shit, apparently.
So yeah, it's gonna be like Redwin. It's gonna be 6 hours and 150 gold.
And it's cut in half because she's an artificer.
Okay,
Yep.
so 75 gold and
Oh.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Yep.
Which is perfect because I want to investigate the necklace. So
I mean, I can just give that back from the 500 we just got.
Yeah.
it's up to you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, y'all have done me a huge service. I might as well return the favor.
So,
Appreciate it.
all right.
Yeah, like when we're out flying the ship, you could spend 3 hours and figure out the sending spell and.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, crew about their business, conversation off to the side, the decision to have Redwin learn and copy the spell of to her spell book and learn it. What would y'all like to do? You're still you're lounging around, not lounging. You're discussing in this space.
I think. Is it fair to maybe say that as we've been having this conversation, we've kind of casually just been like poking our head in the other doors just to make sure there's not like a monster waiting in one of them or something?
Sure, go ahead. So you open up to the. You opened up to the.
Oh, if he messed up my bedroom, so help me God.
No, so you open up to the captain's quarters, your quarters. First off, Voldern, I would like you to describe what your extravagantly furnished captain's quarters look like.
I think, yeah, a tinier bar inside of it. No, I think it's minimal in terms of content, but every individual thing in there is just top notch, right? So it's probably just a bed, a nightstand, a dresser, a safe, but like the safe has gold filigree, and all of the furniture is the finest mahogany, and everything he had mahogany. Yeah,
mahogany. So
I beat you to it. Stop.
So you open in and immediately look upon a room, and the first thing that everyone sees is you've never seen a room so simple in its furnishings, but also super pretentious at the same time. It is the finest of everything. There's not much there. There's a large window that views to the front of the ship to the outside. Again, the room, it feels like it shouldn't fit within this space, and that's bothering a few of you at this point. The expanse of the rooms that are inside what you would assume would be one of the floating apparatuses, the main floating apparatus for the ship, it just shouldn't be there. But they fit.
Big on the inside.
We've seen a similar magic before with Zerpig's building.
It's true.
But
I
am kind of resisting the urge to detect magic again because we need to get going.
Yeah. Voldern, with a quick glance, it doesn't look like anything has been messed with. The only thing at a glance that you can see is that safe with a lot of just beautiful filigree. It looks like it's had many, many attempts at either attempting to break into it. It's got a few scratches on there, a large dent on one side, but it's shut. It's been left alone. Other than that, your bed has been recently slept in.
Oh, son of a! I was getting ready to ask. Son of a bitch.
Your wardrobe has remained mostly untouched. A few other garments have been added to it recently, but otherwise, all is mostly in order. But it's enough to just give you that twitch of anger and irritation at Korvik at this point.
Oh, yeah, he yells back into the main room. Korvik, who is in my bed?
You just hear a low chuckle.
Oh, fuck you. I'm madder about that than if the safe had been broken. Okay.
You need help burning the sheets?
We'll deal with that later.
So you give it a quick tidy up, putting it back to how you would want it to be, grabbing the extra garments and throwing them out just in kind of a small fit of rage. You move from your room, the crew's quarters. You give it a once over. Everything, it appears to be in order, more or less. Just a little bit of blood here and there that's been dried from the crew being whatever form of abuse they had taken while you were gone, exiled from your own ship. You move to the next space. This is where you would store passengers or those needing passengers. People looking for travel from to and from. It didn't happen very often, but it was here when you acquired the ship, so you more or less left it as is.
Passengers, not prisoners, right?
Yes,
that's okay.
Passengers.
That's what we're beating around. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
Passengers. Prisoners. However you would, whatever kind of passenger you would be taking with you at any point in time.
I mean, a prisoner is just a passenger with a worse bed, right?
That's true, or no bed. It's a passenger with less rights, I believe, is the accurate way of putting it.
Okay. Anywho.
Right. You open the space, and it's been more or less left alone. There are, all along one side, there are several single beds separated by dividing walls. Nothing fancy. There is, it looks like the scatterings of some cargo on the right-hand side. Crates broken into and emptied. But the thing that throws you all off and is immediately disturbing is you see erected in the back of this space a statue, carved purple, gems strewn about it, with two red glowing eyes and a maw of razor sharp teeth.
And that's new. Oh, that's upsetting.
I was questioning your taste, my friend.
Ew.
I promise that wasn't mine.
Can we just throw it overboard?
It's
Do
a
we-
statue or a carving in the.
It is a statue carved out of stone, set in the very back of this actually larger space than the crew's quarters. It is about a 30-foot wide by about an 80-foot deep room. Just there. And it is a grotesque thing. And you look at it, all of you revolting momentarily, but then looking below. You had thought you had seen all your crew before Wildurm, but you see one of the deckhands, throat cut, bled out, on the ground in front of the statue. He was the newest to your crew, had been there less than a year.
Not Frankie Jr. No. So does it appear like? Can we suss out anything about how this went down from the scene? Like, does it look like this was ritual or?
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It looks like he was sacrificed to whatever.
Yeah.
I would say Wildurm and Nertho, go ahead and make me a religion check, if you would like. And then everyone else who is proficient in religion, make me a religion check at disadvantage.
Hold on, what browser's having a knip shit?
Yeah, because the rest of you
That's
are all
not
just
me.
learning about.
Ooh.
There you go.
Noise.
The rest of you would not. This is your first time. You've only recently learned about the gods, and in the pantheon, and it's It's not necessarily something out of the question or you would rule out, but it is a new idea.
Yeah, this is upsetting.
So
Does the statue look familiar from anything from looking through the books?
absolutely not.
Okay.
Nertho, Silverderm. This looks like some type of ritualistic sacrifice to this statue of this entity. Nertho, you are positive there was intent, there was a purpose behind this to either commune with or to give homage to whatever this thing represents. Both of you are unsure. I would say Wildurm and Nertho. Both of you are unsure what this is actually depicting.
This is. I hate this, and I want it off my ship.
I'm gonna grab a sheet or a blanket off one of the beds and wrap up the body.
Okay.
I'd like to cast, probably ritually. So sorry, 10 minutes until we get to throw the statue off. I'm gonna try identify first and see if this is like a magic item.
On the statue?
Yes.
All right. So Redwin begins to ritualistically start to castify.
That is a word
blah.
now.
Castify
my spell.
cast the identify spell. In that 10 minutes, what would the rest of you like to do?
I think Volderm's gonna grab the corpse and try to like cover it up and treat it with some level of dignity and like move it out of this.
Yeah, Naruto
Gross
just wrapped it
room,
up.
yeah.
Naruto said he just wrapped it up. With
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, but if an actual cleric starts working on it, I'll just help.
Right. I think I'm like maybe in 10 minutes we can try to move it back to the ground. I mean, that's probably not enough time to actually bury it, but we can at least get it out of here.
So, you wrap up this corpse. It's not fresh. It's been there for a bit. You move.
Okay, so that's evil and unsanitary. Okay, great.
You wrap it up. You move it away as respectfully as you all can. Redwin, you finished casting the identify spell. I will remind you that to cast identify, you must touch the object. Do you touch this statue in the back?
What the hell? Yep.
All right. You place your hand upon it, and it is indeed magical. There is illusion magic that you detect.
Illusion?
Illusion magic placed upon it to give its eyes the glowing red that you see before you. Other than that, it is stone. Nothing unnatural, nothing magical. That is all.
Okay, so then more than likely this was just probably an act to scare the crew with, and then done in reverence to whatever. So like there wasn't a purpose beyond that.
It's creepy. Maybe we should figure out where he got it from.
With my stone cunning and anything like that, can I determine more about the actual stone and sculpture of the piece?
With your religion check, no, go ahead.
I didn't roll a religion check, and I'm
proficient
looking
in
at
religion.
Religion, no. So
Go ahead and
stone
make
cunning.
Yep. Go ahead and make me a religion check at disadvantage. Or a intelligence check. Okay. Yep. Oof.
You were about to give me another option.
Yeah. Well, quick on the draw. So, thinking through your what you've learned growing up and what you have read recently, and your knowledge of stone and masonry, it's intricately carved. You've seen stuff like this carved to this level of detail before, strewn about between in your recent adventures and your time spent on the floating city of Picos. But other than that, it's finely carved and a simple spell that has been permanently imbued upon it. Other than that, nothing else seems to strike your fancy.
But I have the knowledge of how to destroy this.
With a hammer.
Yeah, so Reaver pulls out a piton and a hammer and says, with these.
Okay.
Or, I know. Jareth!
Jareth
Jared.
kind of like picks up. He's still in the main space, and just kind of like peeks off to the side and looks over and goes, "Yes."
You see this thing here?
The evil looking statue?
Yeah, would you break it for us, please?
Ooh, wait. Are the gem eye stones, are they anything like actually a gem, like valuable?
They are a type of clear crystalline gem. Yes.
I'm gonna pick out the eyes first, and then he can smash.
Well, if you let him smash it, then you can pick him out easier.
Well, I don't know how hard and durable, delicate they are. He might destroy them, so
If they break, they're not worth anything.
depends on the gem.
Is someone helping me bury this dead
Oh, yeah,
person?
that was me. Yeah,
That'd be
I'm not
nice.
there. Never mind. Yeah.
I would probably join since helping dispose the body, since I know how to do it.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I guess Voldern probably doesn't know what this dude believed, so he probably doesn't know what his preference would be.
Like what race
Well-
to give him?
Right,
two-
yeah.
Our two options right now would be fire or burial.
If it were me, I'd want to be burned and have my ashes scattered to the winds, but I have no idea what Frankie Jr. liked.
Especially given the unclean nature of his death, I think fire might be the way to go, as much as I normally would be opposed to it.
So I guess just for the rest of this scene, maybe Voldern and whoever else is helping is like on the ground using sacred flame to do a funeral pyre.
I've got
Uh,
control fire or
Ooh,
control flame, so I can.
Perfect. So Nertho, Gorwin, and Voldern begin to build a funeral pyre to set ablaze the corpse of Frankie Jr. And while that happens, the rest of you are egging Jareth on to play Smash the Statue. And oh man, I wish he was here. So I will say that the rest of you, so Jareth, as much as he wants to smash the statue in that space, he kind of gets to the doorway, looks back at Korvik, and goes, "Can we smash it outside?" Because he's kind of got the care of your prisoner under his charge at this point. And he's not willing to necessarily just walk away from that as much as he wants to break the fuck out of that statue. Let's be honest. That's what Jareth would want to do in this moment.
Oh,
If
yeah.
he can carry it outside.
He wouldn't abandon his post in this scenario. But he does recommend to the rest of you, one way to get it off the ship is throwing it down the hatch attached to Korvik.
I like the idea of just yeeting it. Just, yep.
Yeet.
So, Jareth recommends, bringing the statue out here, tying another rope to Korvik to the statue, and then throwing it off the ship with Korvik attached.
How many diamonds does
I'm
Voldern have?
not there to weigh in.
Yep. Yeah, they're Gorwin, Nertho, and Voldern are building a funeral pyre outside.
I mean, that's all right with me, Jareth.
Jareth just.
I appreciate the spirit, but he might be more valuable not dead again. But let's see how smashing this statue bothers him. That might be pain in and of itself.
So, are you going to? I guess the question is: are you going to take the statue outside to smash it, or are you going to do that in here in this space?
Let's take it outside.
Okay. I'll say while the pyre is being built and it gets completed, about that time you all kind of heave-ho this statue. It weighs, it's significantly heavy. You bring it down the ladder, set it out to the side. Jareth, comedically, because Corvic betrayed his significant other at this point, kind of just jumps down the hole, rope still attached to him, and just brings Corvic down. Corvic just smashes straight into the ground. And you just hear this like, ugh, as Corvic just retches in pain. Not dying again, not unconscious, but just, that like 10-foot ass to grass flop off of like a tree, a balcony, or something like that.
It's like a Looney Tune where he hits his chin on every rung of the ladder.
And just
broken tailbone.
Yeah, Corvic's not having a good time. I don't think this is what I would safely assume at this point. This isn't what Corvic had in mind as far as the precursor to the conversations he would be having with Voldurm. It's much more comedic on all of your behalf and much more painful on his.
Well, good. Screw him.
It's fair. So, with that, the statue is brought down. It takes quite a bit of time. It is heavy. It is placed off to the side of the ship. Corvic is worse for the wear. A funeral pyre is built. At this point, Jareth gets prepared to smash the statue. He reels back his two-handed sword and cracks into it. As he hits it, he lets out this blast, and the shotgun blast from his gun blade goes off, shattering the statue into many, many pieces. A cloud of dust forms, and with that, you wait for a little bit to see if the gems made it or not. And they do appear to be there, just burning red. These clear gems, the magic holding, they are intact, and they're for the taking. Jareth will pick them up, and he'll hand them to whoever would like them. It's at this time that the burial rites have been completed. The pyre is built. Frankie Jr. is within it, and Voldurm will be right back. So, you begin to set it ablaze. I would say at this point, we'll say Nertho. What would you say for the start of these rites? Using fire, which is not something you have ever done and or comfortable with before in the past, but what would you say to this body passing?
I'll look over at Voldurm, and I did not know this young man, and I am truly saddened by the foul nature of his death. Typically, I would avoid the concept of burning, even after death, is a bit extreme, but the taint here must be cleaned away. We'll return his ashes and bones to the land, to the cycles, and hopefully the evil nature of this death will not stick with his soul.
And with that, Nertho, you give your rites of passage. Voldurm, is there anything you'd like to say for Frankie Jr.?
No, actually, that sounded pretty dead on. I think he's just kind of looking approvingly at Nertho as he kind of gives that exposition. Like, nailed it.
And with that approving look, Volderm, you light the funeral pyre. Far enough away from the ship as to not be of concern. But
We're also glossing over that because of names, I accidentally created the fact that I now have to go tell his dad, the chef, about this. But okay,
that's canon. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Did it yourself.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. And you begin you begin to light the fire, and Nertho, using your druidic magic from the lands, you begin to increase the flames. And the rest of the crew stands there in honor of Frankie Jr. He watches Frankie himself, is trying to stand strong, but he begins to break down a little bit and starts to cry as the passing of his son. And after time,
I'll go put my arm around Frankie Jr. and try to be like, for what it's worth, buck up.
Volderm, you
I don't
go
know.
over and give Frankie some words of comfort. And he appreciates that. And as much as, one living in the wastelands and going from place to place and surviving here, puts on a hard exterior, he cracks and he cries. I comfort him.
I know, I just created a whole meta-narrative in my head about Frankie and Frankie Jr.
But funeral rites complete after a time. The individuals from the rest of the crew paying their respects as they can, giving their condolences to Frankie. The pyre burning still. What would you all like to do?
Question for you. When we destroyed the statue in front of Korvek, did he make any reaction?
Go ahead and make a insight check. For those of you, so I would say for everyone except for Nertho, Gorwin, and Volderm. Right, so Redwin, as the statue was destroyed on your way to the funeral rites, you noticed that Korvek his face didn't say it, but his body language portrayed a sense of anger at when that statue was destroyed. When someone gets angry and their body tenses up, you kind of see the muscles start to strain ever so slightly, but you do notice it.
All right. I would have a small smirk on my face.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we should probably go find this other tree.
Yes, we should.
So at this point, I guess maybe Volderm and Riva would share that side conversation we had earlier about our tentative plan.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, the rest of them were there for that.
Yep. Definitely. And be like, all right, well, Redwind should be able to get a hold of you.
Yes, there's no graceful way to say goodbye here, is there? Even if it's just for the moment. And Volderm will kind of sidle up next to Jareth. But that does seem the best way to proceed.
Jareth looks saddened by the fact that he's going to have to leave his his newfound love, right?
You at least get to keep the ring.
Little sad and stricken by it. Oh, he's keeping that ring. He intends to, and he just looks up at you, Voldurham, with saddened eyes as you have all decided to split ways. And he begins to say his goodbye. Gives you a big hug and a kiss. And is there anything else anyone would like to talk about, discuss, or do before we split the group and say goodbye to Voldurham?
Yes, but there is not time.
Time is pressing. I'm glad I was able to help you find your ship.
Yes, indeed.
This is not goodbye, but until we meet again.
If the winds of chaos blow us together again, and I think they will, well, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Netho, should we go save this tree?
Most assuredly.
Okay, so I'm assuming Korvek is, he's staying with Voldurham.
Yeah, there's some questions. There's some baggage to unpack there. Yeah.
Yep, he's got some questions that he's going to ask for on my behalf as well.
I have a feeling that sending spell is going to be important.
So, Gorwin, is there anything you'd like to do before the party splits?
No, I am good.
All right. So, with that, a plan has been set forth. The Voldurham, you and your reunited crew will stay here to guard the tree and glean information from Korvik as time, magic, and pain see fit.
I'm good at all three.
Perfect. The rest of the party, you finish your goodbyes. You board your ship, ensuring everything is in order. It is. And you set off, heading northeastward to the location of the new tree. Waving, missing your compatriot, who's been a boon and a blessing to the party. But the one who feels it the most is Jareth. He lets out a single tear as the new love of his life is separating for now, with the hopes of meeting again, and with the winds of chaos and the right time, maybe, just maybe, your paths will all cross as we return to traveling the great wastes of Taurinia. And with that, we are going to take a short break. But before we do, I want to say thank you, Nick, for joining us. It has been a pleasure. I'm sad to see you go. So,
but you love to watch me leave?
Oh, you know I do. No, it's been a pleasure. It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first time I've had a guest character, and it's been a blast.
Nice.
This was a ton of fun.
And I was able to fix his sneak attack before he left.
Yeah, at the very end, yeah.
But it didn't matter.
Yeah, no, this was a blast. I loved meeting y'all. I have a sneaking suspicion we might meet again, but this is goodbye. But this is goodbye for now. And yeah, this has just been so much fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, again, thank you. I appreciate it, bud. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about on the side after this.
Yeah, do you just want me to peace out? What happened?
If you want to hang out and listen, man, if you want to just watch and in the live stream, whatever you want to do, I'm here for it. If you want to kind of be that commentary for the rest of the evening, I'm totally cool with it. But we are going to take a quick 10-minute break. It is 8:50. We'll come back in 10 minutes, and then we will resume the journey to the northeast, to the location of the second tree, as we head to the marked region of Thessia. So,
Cool.
I'm excited. We will be back in 10. I will be right back. Thanks again, Nick. It's been a
Thank you, Nick.
blessing.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you, man.
And
See ya.
we'll be back in 10.
Yep. Later, taters.
The 6 became 5. So we got the little guy started in daycare this week.
All right, so we are waiting on Sean, and Erica should be ready shortly. So, yeah, still waiting on Sean, but I will say at this point, everyone can gain the benefit of a long rest. So,
Woohoo.
yeah,
And attune and identify things.
absolutely. Erica, you're muted.
Sorry, forgot about that. I'm gonna give Jareth the Ring of Fire Resistance.
That didn't. What happened there? How did I do damage?
To yourself?
Yeah.
Um,
I thought that would be the +2 effect, but instead it's somehow.
what were you trying to do?
I was trying to apply the +2 wisdom. So I was
to-
grabbing that.
To healing or?
No, just the Ion Stone gives me a +2 to my wisdom.
It should be automatic, so let me look. Ion Stone of Insight. If you equip it, and you're attuned to it, let me edit this. There's no effect built in. Let me add that real quick.
Yeah, and I was looking at the convenient effects. What I figured the Ion Stone would do, but
Um,
or not that the D&D Beyond.
oh no, I got you. I have to do it here. Effects plus 2 effects. It's gonna be a systems ability. Wisdom bonus. Add 2. Submit changes. Close.
Sounds like Sean will be a minute.
Yeah, I'm cleaning up a dog mess.
Oh no.
yeah.
You're
So
fine.
I got my headset
Oh,
on.
you're fine.
So I'll just be AFK.
I'm just trying to fix an item real quick.
By fix, you mean break it more?
You know, I'm here for it.
Am I happy with my spells?
Oh, go away. I'm not editing the browser.
While we're flying there, I want to talk to Redwin, and I'll do a beast shape into something decently large and show her how I can keep items on my beast body, and then see if she can maybe figure out some way to help me get my backpack to where it can expand to stay on the beast body.
Sure, she's always up for a challenge.
And then maybe we can add a iron ring or something attached to my backpack that we can attach things to if we need to.
Like a carabiner.
Yeah.
Being a carer.
Yeah. And also, while
Because
Alright, you're good,
Oh.
Nertho. Next.
And also, while we're flying, I'd probably just put my +1 dagger to my chain dagger.
Yeah, so what I will say is for items that need adjusting, tuning, modifying, we'll go down the row. And Redwin, I'm going to ask you to make a series of Arcana checks. So we'll start with Gorwin. We'll start with your dagger. So you want to
Yay.
do what?
I will be changing out the dagger on the chained dagger
Oh,
to the +1 dagger onto it.
oh, okay. I will say that is easy enough and will not require any check. So,
Yay.
we'll make that magical.
I'm just going to be doing some basic attunement, so.
Yep. Okay.
Nothing too fancy.
Got it. So your weapon is updated, and I will be removing the +1 dagger from your inventory, Gorwin. All right.
Yay.
Nertho, is there anything you need you're adjusted? You're talking about a carabiner.
Well, like to try and set up my my backpack so that when I wild shape into a different form, the backpack can stay attached to the wild shape form.
Redwin, go ahead and I will say this will cost you 50 gold, and roll me an Arcana check.
I'll mark that gold.
I will say, due to the nature of the request, you can go ahead and do this at advantage. Okay, 25. Without issue, you take the time to work with the magics associated with ensuring that the bag, the backpack, can stay attached during wild shape. Perfect. Anyone else?
I don't think I have anything special. I mean, because we already got the scroll that she can learn.
Yep.
That from.
I've already added sending, because I'm assuming. Do I need to do any rolls for that,
No,
or
you'll just time and materials, and then real quick, if I could have you make an Arcana check for Jareth with advantage for his gunblade to become a +1 weapon. He is aiding you through his knowledge of his own magics, through his training.
so I'm helping him.
You're working
do
together with you as the primary and him assisting you, making his gunblade be more effective in combat. So go ahead and make me an Arcana check at advantage. 25. Without issue, you and Jareth spend the better part of 2 days of travel. We're just going to get through this piece first, and then we're going to do some rolls, which is always fun. Taking the properties from that great sword that you all had found, and applying it to transferring the magical properties from that great sword to Jareth's own gunblade. So, with that, those are all complete. Riva, did you have anything you needed done?
Reba doesn't have anything.
Right.
You know, all Reba's stuff is basic attunement. You know, I don't have any. I mean, I'd like to get a better rapier, but I don't see. But at the same time, for Reba, it really doesn't matter.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just gonna unattune my charlatan's die and attune my cloak.
All right. You go ahead and do so. So, as we move to the map of Taurinia, and as you begin your journey, I would like. So first of all, Riva, if I could have you go ahead and make me an air vehicle check. So
Air vehicle check.
essentially,
That I can
guiding
Not
the
very
ship in the right direction. Okay,
do. 10.
perfect. All right, if I could have, well, who would like to start by rolling a d20?
I'll roll it.
Go for it, Nirvana.
Ryan, I have a couple other tasks needing to be completed too, by the way, while we're traveling. So
Okay.
when you want to fit that in.
So we'll do the first 4 days of travel, and then we'll continue with those tasks. So on the 5th day, we'll go through that. All right. So a 13. All right. So your first day of travel, that departure from the Iron Peaks, heading northeastward towards Thessia, best you can tell, with Riva at the helm guiding the ship. You begin your travel. The skies are clear for the first part of the day. And as you begin to move forward in your quest northward, a foul wind rages from the east, slightly blowing you farther to the east than you anticipated on the first day of travel. Otherwise, you are secure. No one is lost from the storm. The ship is not damaged, and we will continue. Unless anyone would like to have any conversations or talk about anything on the first day, we will move to the second.
I do, because I have been wanting to try to catch Gorwyn. And this might be a bit of a sensitive subject, so I'm going to see if I can catch him on his own. But I want to ask him what he might know about what we learned about the Oct and how they might be prolonging their life.
Oh.
Because I believe it kind of became apparent that during that conversation with the tree that you might know something about that. So it's been on Redwin's mind. She wants to know more about that.
So, Redwin, what is the question that you pose to Gorwyn?
We learned a lot when we talked with that great tree spirit, and it seems that the Oct is perhaps using specific magics to prolong their lives through that magic. And through our conversation, it seemed to me like you might know a little bit more about that, and without making things difficult for you, because of my curiosity, but also because of everything. We don't know where this is going to go, how this is going to go, but I wanted to ask you if you knew and could divulge more about that.
Well, I remember I aced the medicine check, and that's how I knew how they dispose the bodies. But how much do I exactly know about prolonging life?
So you know that amongst the members of your group, it is something spoke about in the shadows. It is something that may be practiced. But you have a hunch that the leader of your group is practicing those magics, but you're not positive. Other than that, you don't really know much.
Okay, and then it was like I do remember it being mentioned, but it was like something about kind of like taking like the souls of dead bodies.
Correct. Taking the essence
Okay.
of those who had passed as a source of extending one's life.
Okay. Well, as a response, then I'd be like, I'm not fully sure, but I have reason to believe that those who die have their essence extracted, and that helps prolong how long certain members can live, which is weird considering they have to have a dead body to gain said essence.
Right. I suppose this might be some form of necromancy then, but I don't know if that's something you would know.
My knowledge is limited to what I have heard, but it could possibly be some sort of dark magic. Not necessarily necromancy, but could still definitely be a possibility.
And since we're so far away from the city and your context, at this point, there's probably not really a good way of inquiring further, I suppose.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think I was given a way to contact the mainland.
You were not given a magical means to contact anyone back. However, after this day, I will point out, Redwin, you do have access to the sending spell.
I will, I guess, share with him. I've mastered the sending spell, so, if we kind of plan ahead for it a little bit so I can prepare that spell ahead of time. Because I don't know about you, but I kind of feel like this might be a big deal. Like, maybe the Oct are really just regular people like you and I, but over the decades, the centuries, they learned enough magics to just have control over so much more than the average person.
Oh, definitely. They definitely aren't deities, but they are definitely playing as them, which is definitely way more dangerous than anything.
Well, I don't know any deities, so I guess I don't know how dangerous they might be. Maybe that's all a deity is just a regular person who acquired some sort of knowledge and power, but the Oct has outlawed religion and gods like those of Neartho and his people, probably for a reason.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. And looking at least a couple informants I have, I might have someone I could contact who could give some information, but I don't know how much they could share. But they do have higher standings than I do.
Do you think it would be worth any risk involved? Like,
That's the thing I'm not sure about. I mean, I've known him since we're both little, so I know I can trust him, but you never know.
Right. Seems that we're delving into all sorts of unknown and dangerous territory these days.
Yeah, because if one wrong word leaks out to the wrong person, who knows what could happen to us.
Well, it's interesting, and it might come into play later. So I think I do want to contact this person you mentioned at some point, but perhaps not at this time. It might not be worth the risk per se at the moment.
Alright.
Because, and I'm sure you felt this too, but why has the Oct been trusting us to run this mission and risk learning all these other things about the world? I'm worried that we're not going to be allowed back in the cities, or if we are, it's going to be under very strict surveillance.
Oh,
Which,
definitely.
you've lived, in the fakes, I think, your whole life. So maybe it's not quite as a surprise to you, but
Well,
I
also,
don't know if I can go back to that.
it could be that, like I mentioned earlier, they need bodies. They're probably just looking for reason to kill us. Because, I mean, I was straight up told that the speaker would, like, speaker straight up told me he would love to see my head hung. But he had no reason. That might be part of it.
So the speaker threatened you that he'd like to see your head or see you dead, but didn't give you a specific reason.
I mean, I could probably guess the reason, but they have no evidence or proof to say. But what reason do they need besides treason and speaking out against them?
Well, and anything that we're doing, because we don't have their official support out here,
Right.
could probably be twisted. So
Right.
we're working for the Oct, but I fear that once our mission is done, we might not be welcome back. We'll either be exiles or hunted.
Yeah. But we'll cross that road when it happens. Definitely more pressing matters, to say the least.
Yes. All right. Well, I guess you let me know if you think we should reach out to your friend. Otherwise, I'll let you know if I think it would be a good time to reach out to them for more information.
Alright. And on the topic of reaching out to them, this is for a specific. How much do I, like, because I only have, like, a brief summary, but specifically the person I would reach out is, Anaran. How much do I know about him?
You would know that they are a trusted confidant, and that they would able to more than likely get information that you seek pretty quickly, within a few days. Again, depending on the difficulty of the information you're looking for, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I was on my bullet points. It says childhood friend ascended the ranks quickly. I don't know how high of a rank he is or anything about that. So
Yeah. You wouldn't necessarily know where they are nested based on your organization. It's just certain people are nested higher than others, right?
right,
That's kind of kept
under wraps.
Yeah, you would essentially at this point in time be, I guess everyone else welcome to a little bit of Gorwin. You would essentially be getting information and instruction from your father at this point. And then you would be moving on from that eventually, depending on, perceived worth and skill and so on.
Okay.
So, but all
All
right.
right.
Anyone else on day one?
Yeah.
Go for it, Reva.
Redwin, You got that spell figured out?
Yeah. It wasn't too hard.
And we should try to get hold of Vodome tomorrow and see if he's managed to glean any information from that cretin.
Agreed. I can make sure that it's prepared then for tomorrow.
All right. So unless anyone has anything else for day number 1, we had Nertha roll for the first day. Everyone can once again a long rest. Who would like to roll for day number 2?
I can.
Go for it, Gorwin. Give me a D20.
Alrighty.
A 3. All right.
Do I need to handle again?
No.
Okay.
The skies are clear and your travel is unhindered. It is smooth sailing. With that, is there anything anyone would like to do on day 2?
I would like to cast Identify on that necklace we found on Korvek.
Okay.
Because we kept that with us, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Riva has it. So, you take the time to cast the Identify spell. It is not magical.
Okay. Anything else about its craftsmanship? Because, I have like tinker's tools, smith's tools. Go to tinker's tools again. That's if it's metalwork, it might be smith's tools.
I will say there's no role for this. You take the time to examine it. It is well crafted. It doesn't appear to be molded or shaped by humanoid hands. It appears to be done through magical means. It is pristine. It is twisted. It feels foul, but it is beautiful in its own right.
Okay. So since that didn't turn anything up, it's probably been a while since I've cast. What do I usually do? Cast Identify on Jareth's arm.
All right, go ahead and make me you are an intelligence caster. Go ahead and make me a spell casting check. So go ahead and make a intelligence check. So you will roll d20 plus your intelligence modifier. Once again, examining the crystal embedded, you don't glean any new information. It still eludes you as to what it is and what it does. At the end of with that, on day 2, Riva.
Yes.
A voice penetrates your mind and goes, "Child, I see I've found you once again. What news do you have for me?"
I would respond, well, we found someone that may know where he is, and we are currently working on extracting information from him.
Okay. There's no response after that. Anything else on day 2 from anyone?
Yeah, I think, Redwin, you were going to try to contact Wildurham, see if he managed to get anything about my brother out of... can't remember NPC's name.
Yep, so I can go ahead and cast That. Anything else before I... Because I do have it prepared, so...
Just double check something.
Other than I'm sure Jareth would have a few words.
Okay.
Well, if no one else has anything to say, I will go ahead and cast it.
Okay. 25 words or less. What do you say? I will be counting.
Redwin speaking. Any updates from Captive? Jareth sends his love.
And the rest is just kissing noises.
Just, no. There's a bit of a pause, and you get a response shortly after. And you hear the voice of Odurm fill your head, and he says, I'm working on it. It's gonna take some time. He's become more stubborn than I thought. Send Jareth my love. And that's the end of the message.
I'll update the crew on it.
Well, I had a word from the voice in my head too. And I just told him that we found someone that might know my brother's whereabouts, and we're working on extracting information.
Good. Hopefully that's enough.
But for whatever reason, where we were, they couldn't get a hold of me.
You mean where we were with the tree?
Yeah. They couldn't sense my location. But now they know right where we are.
So it's not just a sending spell, more than likely cast on that necklace.
Like, out of character, I know it's like a special item.
Oops.
But like they had let me know when we were in there. I think they were able to talk to me but not know where I was.
Correct. They sent a message that they said they couldn't see where you were at that point in time. So,
Yep.
you know, they can talk to you, but there was a situation where they couldn't see you. So
And then they made it clear when they
Right.
just made it clear this time when they contacted me that they could see where I was.
Yep. So they've regained visual sight on where you're at. For whatever that's worth.
Visual sight. Must be something about the tree that might be blocking the magics of that necklace.
So Redmond, I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's called a Faraday cage.
So
Can
you
you
keep
make
Faraday's?
Yeah, we need to make a Faraday cage for this amulet. I'll just wear it around my head.
Drive the oct nuts. Oh, we can't see where you are. Where are you?
I'm in a box.
I'm trapped.
Help me.
All right. Anything else for this day?
I would like to use 25 gold pieces of my incense to ritually cast divination.
Okay. Divination. So.
Here, how do I?
Nope, I got it. Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you are casting the spell upon the deck of the ship, I
Mhm.
believe this is the first time you've used this spell. So what does that look like for everyone?
Other than lighting up the incense and pulling some plant components that I've been picking up out of my materials to burn them. Pretty much looks like I'm, going into my nightly meditative trance, but I am communing with my god.
Okay. So, what would you like to ask Zadal, Lord of the Lands?
I will ask, how can we best prepare for what we will find at the tree? Or at our goal?
So your question is, what will we...
Well, how can we best prepare for what we will find?
As you finish burning the incense upon the deck of the ship, you begin to breathe it in. The air from the surrounding space as you move through the sky begins to fill your nostrils. And we would expect that dry, arid desert, you begin to smell fresh grass, earth, a healthy earth, something growing, and you open your eyes and you swear you see on the bow of the ship where past Riva, where he's expertly guiding it in the direction of your goal. You see this figure grow out of the wood and look at you and smile. And you hear the words enter your mind on the faint sound of a breeze passing by, going, "You have what you need. Be rested, keep faith, and trust. You have my blessing." And that's it.
All right, I'll stand up and smile and head back to the group.
And you feel oddly rejuvenated by that. So, all right, with that, we will move on to the third day. If I could have the next person roll a d20 for me.
I got this one.
All right, Riva, what do you got? 13. Once again, the skies provide a clear picture of the sight of the land below. There is no wind. There is nothing impeding your journey. You begin to move forward, the iron peaks behind you beginning to disappear from your view. But as soon as they start to become smaller and smaller to your rear, a storm becomes ever violent, moving across from your eastern bow. Riva, if I could have you make a vehicle check for the airship.
Be the same as Steve's tools.
Yep.
So
Can I guide him?
I will say no in this instance. It's
Fair
longer
enough.
than like a one round thing.
Yep.
Or one instance thing. A 15. Okay. All right.
Oh no, that's not right. I forgot. That's a 12.
A 12. Okay. If I could have you roll a d6 for me.
Absolutely.
A 3. Despite your best efforts attempting to have the ship continue to move in the direction of your goal, you are strewn off course. It isn't as bad as it could have been, as once the storm passes, you look into the sky and you notice that you've only moved eastward instead of continuing to move in the northeastward direction toward Thessia. So, not necessarily time gained nor lost, just a day has been wasted, more or less. But the ship seems to be intact. Everyone is present in there, and nothing of ill has struck you yet. So, with that, if I could get, I believe it is Redwin, your turn. If I could get
Do the roll.
D20 from Redwin.
/R or R/.
/R. Or hit the D20 icon.
Or you just click the D20 icon.
Oh,
Yep.
I forget
Oops.
that.
17. Okay. So. The winds are in your favor. The ship moves faster than anticipated as a burst of air follows you throughout the day from the southwest, pushing you from the southwest to the northeast, pushing you closer to your destination. It's the weather, apart from that, is calm. And Redwin, if I could have you roll me a D100. Could you roll me a D4? Two. Okay. The day continues about uneventful. With that, is there anything anyone would like to do on this day?
Yes.
All right, Redwin, what would you like to do?
Red One wants to look through those books they found in the library more and use her calligraphy tools. She's particularly interested in any of the religion books, especially since that creepy statue. So.
Okay. Which book are you dedicating your time to for the day?
I just have Alchemists.
Okay.
Guide to Elemental Magic. Who has the religious books? Where are they?
They're available under the Items tab. They should be there.
I will say, would you make it obvious that you're wanting to look through these books?
Yep.
Okay. Goran would actually hand her the book he has, The Tales of Distant Shores, and tell her that he found some info in this she might want to look into about what they had discussed a couple days ago.
Oh, okay. So I will take a particular look at that book as well in regards to what he's talking about. Ryan, I'm not finding the list of books. I don't remember where it is.
Yep. So at the very top of your browser, there's...
that items tab.
Yep, items tab there. It'll show you the list of all the books that you and your group currently have in their possession.
It's under the library. Okay. Which book was it, Steven?
It was the Tales of Distant Shores.
Okay. So if Gorwin gave me that book, I'm going to take a look at that first and kind of look through it for more information in particular about the discussion he and I had, and then I'm going to use my calligrapher's tools because that can sometimes provide more information.
Okay, go ahead and make me a investigation check at advantage. $25. That seems to be your number tonight. Okay. So, reading through the book and taking in the tales, you come to glean the information that to the southeast of Volsland, past the distant shores to the great expanse that is the ocean, there lies a uncharted island that the novel speaks of treasure and magics beyond your wildest dreams. There lies danger and adventure and many, many riches await you. That is what you're able to glean from it.
And the rolls for these must be like crazy. They gotta be either nat 20 or something. That was bad, but...
No, 25 is really good. You only have a map of what you know to be true. So, it appears as though there is an island to the southeast that has riches and powers untold.
Does it indicate how far?
It does not.
Like, not even a generalized.
Go ahead and make an intelligence check. An 18. Within a fortnight of travel by ship,
in my mind, I'm thinking like airship because that's the only kind of ship that I know.
no? You're not sure whether that's by air or by sea, but within a 14-day travel, you're also able to glean from that 18 intelligence check that is off the southern coast of Abros, to the southeast, which is the southernmost of Volsland.
Long ways away.
So cool, though. So that probably realistically would have taken me most of the day. I don't. So, but I do intend to look through most of the books. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're sort of looking through that, I think Riva would start to want to look through because he's carrying on him the Map Maker's Odyssey book and the Wanderers of the Wasteland. But if you're looking for that, he'd probably look through the map book.
Okay, so Riva, you were looking through which book first?
Map Maker's Odyssey, charting the unknown continents.
Map Maker's Odyssey. All right, Riva, go ahead and make me a investigation check. 18.
19.
19. Oh, yep. Okay. With a 19. As you begin to read through, focusing in on the chapter of the Lost City, you realize that it is talking about the mountain peaks east of you. Actually, directly east of you. Here.
Okay.
That it appears as though at some point there appears to be an ancient city embedded within these mountain ranges. And what you also have gleaned from reading the book, there's a series of trials that await those who seek to uncover the secrets of Xenothril through physical and mental prowess. They provide a boon to those who are able to succeed in those trials. You also learn that the fires of the holy will burn through the evil that approaches. And between Redwind's expert, I'm trying to think of the word, not map making, through her expert cartography, you come to realize that the volcanic, at least through old maps, the volcanic structure to the east of where you are here may be exactly that which the book speaks of.
Okay.
But with that, another day has passed. If I could have back to top of the order, Nertho, if you could roll me a d20, please. A 1.
Wah, wah, wah.
By the way, I share what I learn to the group
Okay.
Yeah, same.
very excitedly.
Well, in this case, God damn it. In this case, the skies are clear. Your travel is unhindered. You move a day closer to your goal. You, to the east, start in just the faintest distance looking through a spyglass. See the burning mountains. To the north, you're able to see what appears to be stone peaks popping in and out of the ground. Not in and out, popping out of the ground, creating almost a natural wall. With that, is there anything anyone would like to do on this day?
Yeah, I think that we would discuss, what Redwin and I have figured out, but obviously it's not our. I don't think it's. Gaining a boon is always good, but we're kind of pressed for time to get to. We're going to Thessia, right?
That is correct.
To get to Thessia, we could always keep this on our back burner.
Yeah, I think it would be definitely a good thing to investigate, but it's also a trial. And the tree spirit indicated that his other was already under duress. Yeah. So.
But what if the boon is what we need to save them?
Well, Nertho, did you share any of your divination?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, that we already have everything we need.
That's a good point. We've already done that. Yeah.
But what if that message was, we have the book and that's what we need? Can you do another divination?
I can, but the impression I got was, you've got this. Less than like, you've got the clues you need to figure this out, and more just like, you've got this.
Okay, so I'm all for living a life exploring this wasteland and finding out its secrets and all of that, but if this is Nertho's gut feeling that we don't need it, then I'm more, and I guess I don't want fear to rule our decision making. But we all know that time is of the essence. We don't know what the other tree spirit is facing. And it sounds like it's more serious than what was attacking the tree
Yeah,
spirit
that's-
we met.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like we know this is here. It's not going anywhere.
Probably not.
I mean, I might be able to glean something else for us how to survive things from this other book I have.
Yeah.
Maybe we investigate all books before we decide course of action.
Yeah, speaking of, who's got like the religious books? Because I want to look
I've got
through
that
those
one,
in more
and
detail.
you are welcome to look through them. The gods and Titan mythical deities of Taurinia.
Who's got the book that has the magic on it that unfortunately I wasn't able to unravel?
Which book?
Remember the one that I was
Don't you
trying to
have that
read
one?
through? And it had to be taken away from me because I just kept rereading it.
Was that
And it
Lost
kept
Kingdom?
hurting you. I think it was.
I think Jareth has that one.
It was not Lost Kingdoms.
Oh.
I will say
Or is it the Alchemist Guide?
it was not the Alchemist Guide. Go ahead and make. So those of you who are trying to figure out which book it is, go ahead and make me an intelligence check.
Oh boy.
Or I can just look through my notes.
Sure. So 1, Nertho, you have no idea.
25.
Gorwin, you have no idea. Raven,
Yay.
19. That was the Codex of Destruction, unleashing the unforeseen forces of chaos. None of
has
you
that
have
book?
that book with you.
But I know who has it. Voldurm has it.
Probably.
Okay. Well, anyways, we'll table that for next time we meet Voldurm.
Yeah.
Religious books, yes. I'd like to take a closer look at them.
Which book
You know,
would you like to
first.
look at?
And I said I wanted to look at the Wanderer's Guide to the Wastelands, whatever, surviving the barren lands.
Sure. All right. So if I could have for this day, well, I will say this, Reva. You're the one primarily steering the ship.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense, and I skipped over, this is my fault. It doesn't make sense that you'd have the time throughout the day to really sit down and decipher one of these books. So I will say, if you're going to continue steering the ship, you're either going to be able to A, steer the ship, or B, decipher something. So,
Netho, can you steer this for me?
Yeah, I've got you.
right, Ertho, go ahead and make me a... Oh, what check is that? This is where it gets fun.
It's intelligence.
Go ahead and make me an intelligence check.
Ooh.
Guidance does not apply.
I figured.
All right.
Yeah. This is... Nope, not gonna go well.
Okay.
Clear
So,
your throat.
for this day, Nertho, could I have you roll me 2d20, please?
Mm-hmm. Perfectly average.
So that is a... Okay. All right. Your next day of travel, with Nertho leading the helm. You don't fly as far as you wish that you would have. You begin to move closer to your destination, with the ever lava-flowing peaks to the southeast. Closer, but you're beginning to see the smoke plume and rise and this wall of stone and these jagged edges popping out from the ground in front of you. I need a D100 from you, Nertho. Seven. Okay. A 7. Could I have you roll me a D4? 3. You continue to steer the ship, confident in your own ability, as Riva takes the time to investigate this tome. And you hear this awful, awful screeching sound. It sounds like nails on a chalkboard here. There's just noise off in the distance. What do you do?
Try and identify the source of it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a survival check.
Oh no, that's combat music.
15. So focused on your goal and protecting this additional tree, you look off to your eastern flank and you, for a moment of panic, go, that sound is beneath me. As we move to combat, as you watch as this entity emerges from
And I'd
underneath
say
you.
I'd probably be back here with,
Right. Go ahead and move yourselves to where you feel fit.
and Nertho would
feel
be
fit
up there
this
at the
moment.
helm.
As this entity of sand and bone emerges from beneath, just shooting up from the side.
I start yelling alert.
So with that, I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Remember, Ryan, I had given Jareth the ring of fire resistance.
Yep.
Okay.
That's from your character. Let me throw that on real quick.
Yeah, I'll delete it from mine when you have it, but
Ring of fire resistance. Alright, cool. It is attuned. It is equipped. Alright. And with that, we are going to move to top of the order. Riva, it is your turn. As this boned monstrosity appears from beneath the ship, flying up, what do you do?
Well, I immediately turn around and you see Riva's hand just kind of lashes out, and you see a spectral whip just try to crack into this thing as I cast Tasha's Mind Whip.
Okay. That is a 10. It fails.
Okay, so not only does it take that damage, it cannot take reactions
Okay.
until the end of its next turn, and moreover, on its next turn, it must choose whether it gets to move, take an action, or a bonus action.
Okay.
It only gets one.
Perfect. All right. Anything else?
Yes. And I think I am gonna go ahead and kind of move to there. And that is my turn.
All right. Next up, Redwin. It is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to cast 3rd level. Brain Armor of Agathis on myself.
Okay.
Working. Something changed. I can't target myself.
Go ahead and give yourself, I said 3rd level, 15 temporary hit points.
Yeah.
And then we'll just have to keep track of it manually. I remember the Agathis is one of those weird spells that just I haven't figured out how to make it work. Foundry, maybe you do, Sean, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can probably figure it out.
Okay, so all right, anything
I'll
else?
take a look at it.
I'm gonna move up to it.
Okay. It is. Yep. Okay. Anything else?
Just from kind of being close to it, does this appear to be one of those dragons we've heard so much about?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check. It appears to be dragon-like in nature, but it does not seem to accurately represent the descriptions that Voldarin has given you in the past. So it's close, but not quite.
I'm gonna shout that to the group.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm just gonna try to be, kind of distracted and noisy about my running up to it to keep its attention, so.
Perfect. All right, its turn. Flying up. It's just looking about, assessing the group. You're the first thing in its presence. It's going to attack you with it's going to reach out with one of its clawed arms, attempting to strike out at you.
Did all that stuff where it couldn't get to you, or couldn't do that thing, and you move up where it can use its attack. Redwin.
Oh, but now it can't move and attack the rest of us.
Hold on just a minute. Because that counts as abjuration, yep, so. Which one do I want to use? That was not what I meant to do. What?
What are you trying to do?
I don't know, it gave me It gave me the option for shield, and then or like a reaction, and then that went away, and then it's making me do Constitution saving throws.
So a shield would have brought your AC to 26. Are you using the shield spell?
Sure.
Okay, that would have missed then. So I'll heal you. It strikes out with a singular large claws, attempts to grab you, and misses as this arcane energy flashes in front of you, blocking its grasp. That will end its turn. Gorwin, it is your turn.
Alright, to start, we'll bonus action cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
Then we will move up right here. And we will throw Chain Dagger at it.
A 16 will miss as you throw your dagger. It just bounces off of its skeletal body.
Alright, and then with... Which one is it? Double step. I will attack it again with a Chain Dagger.
Okay.
Darn.
10 will miss as your first strike, hits into it, bounces off, you reel back, and then shoot forward again with that dagger attack. It misses wildly on the second. Anything else in your turn?
And I'll just move back a little bit, and that will be my turn.
Okay. All right, Nertho, it is your turn.
Okay. Yeah, he's way close enough. So first I'm going to try casting Fairy Fire.
Okay.
Right there. I think right there. That's a weird cube, but sure.
17.
He succeeds. Oh well. And then I will use my bonus action to take my starry form. What's that window?
That 28 will hit.
Cool.
All right. As
I will step a little bit further back.
spectral arrows fire out from your form, striking into this. It makes no noise, and it continues its assault. Anything else?
That's it for me.
It is Jareth's turn. Jareth is going to rush forward. He is going to strike out at this with his gun blade once. 18. That will hit. He will use a slash bang. It will succeed, but it will move backwards. He will strike out a second time. 18 hitting. He will use a burst strike on this one. With 16 succeeding, that will end his turn. All right, Riva, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so as you see Riva standing here, he hasn't pulled his sword out yet. And all of a sudden, you see forming in his hand is this ethereal blade of pure darkness.
Okay.
As he casts Shadow Blade.
All right.
So first I need to give myself, let's see, concentrating. I'm not going to actually cast a spell, I'll just mark the spell slot off. I made a Shadow Blade in my inventory to make it easier.
Okay, that's fine.
And I can throw it. So
I'm gonna.
And it'll do that. And it'll also do sneak attack.
All right, go for it.
Oof.
Ooh, nice. And
That one 2d6 doubles what you got on a 2d8.
Right? I mean,
Nice.
and then, so that was bonus action. I think I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll move 30 feet to there.
All right, anything else?
That's my turn.
All right, Redwind, it is your turn.
I'm gonna attack it with Chromatic Orb.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll at disadvantage.
Oh yeah, because I'm close.
Yep, that is a ranged spell attack right next to the spell.
Yep.
Crossbow expert's a cool feat, man.
So, go ahead and give me that chromatic orb.
Can I change my mind about what spell I want to do?
Unfortunately, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
You might hit. Who knows? That'll be pretty cool. we'll see.
Where are you?
Splash.
You control and target and cast a spell at a disadvantage.
No, it'd be a regular. We didn't add my owl. My owl goes with me. It gives her a help action. No, whatever.
Well, womp womp.
I didn't say disadvantage. It didn't give me the option, so let me roll that one more time.
Uno mas. Nope, it'll definitely hit for the first time. So, go with the first roll. So, yep, that will hit. All right, anything else?
That is my
what
turn.
type? What type of damage?
A thunder damage.
Yep, as you pull out
Thunder.
your orb and the lightning strikes out at this boned entity. All right.
Yeah, that's my question. So if it's thunder damage and it's a bone entity, did it seem like it did a little bit more to it?
No, it didn't.
No. Okay.
About the same. All right, so
Make it an ass.
is going to start off by using Sandstorm Assault.
How rude.
So it is on itself. So Jared will take a saving throw. Does not. That's a failure by Gorwin and a success by Jareth. Okay, so Jareth will take half damage of 33. Which is 15. Gorwin, that is a failure. You will take 33 points of necrotic.
Does vision work? Because it's a
Yeah,
dex.
I will say yes. So you'll take 15 points of necrotic damage. So subtract 15 from your max HP. And Redwin, you got a 12. That is a failure. Redwin, you will take 33 points of necrotic damage. So that'll eat through your temporary hit points, plus another 10. As the space around this entity becomes a whirlwind of sand and this sickening green energy. And in the moment that it does this, it just vanishes shortly thereafter. That'll end its turn.
I'm going to be AFK for like 2 minutes.
You're
I'll be
fine.
right
Gorwin,
back.
it is your turn.
Alright. We'll move so I'm within 10 feet of it.
Okay.
Chain dagger.
23 will hit. Okay.
Into flourish.
All right. Yeah, as you move forward and whip your dagger, striking into its very core.
And then, surprise, surprise, chain dagger again.
Yep, you pull your dagger back and you move to strike it a second time, bouncing off of its hard bone exterior. Anything else?
Then we will move back just a little bit.
Do you have anything that prevents you from taking an attack of opportunity? Don't believe that you do. It does have a 10-foot reach, so it will strike out at you with Sand Scepter's Touch. So I'm going to move you back here real quick. 24 will hit. You've already used evasion. You cannot use uncanny dodge. Sorry.
He would have gotten his reaction back.
Not because it's my
That
turn.
is true. Yep, you would have got your reaction back. You are not paralyzed. Sorry, you're not restrained, and you take half damage. So you'll take 36 points of damage. All right, you can move back to where you'd like to. All right, and with that, Erthod, it is your turn.
All right. I'm gonna shimmy back where I was. I'm gonna try this fairy fire thing again.
Did I hear something about he couldn't use uncanny dodge?
He could. Yeah, we figured it out. That's fine.
I was going to say, yeah, got his reaction back on his turn. Yep.
Yep.
Gotcha.
But you watched as Gorwin came in, did his strikes, and backed off, and just took the brunt of the beating.
Ooh,
18 is a
again.
success.
God damn. All right. Well,
He's a flying thing. He's dexterous.
Yeah, but
Fair.
I'm wise. We're gonna do the archer bolt again.
Go for it.
Oof.
17 will hit. Yeah.
Oop. And then I'm gonna dance on back.
All right. With that, it is Jareth's turn. Jareth is going to strike out against this entity twice. His gunblade. 27 will hit. He is going to blow a munition charge for a burst strike. That is a failure. It will take an additional 9 points of damage. Alright, and for a second attack, he will strike out again. Another 27 will hit. He will use another munition charge and do another burst strike. For an 11. And that will end his turn. Riva, you're up.
All right. So first, I use a bonus action to
These
recall
look a
my.
little rough.
I use my bonus action to recall my dagger.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm actually going to cast Chromatic Orb at it myself. And miss.
Okay.
And then I am actually going to move here. To there.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, Redwin, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, I'm actually gonna now, why the hell not, cast haste on myself.
All right, let's do it.
Get that second attack. So,
It's your action. Okay.
what am I concentrating on? I shouldn't be concentrating on anything else.
It should just be haste.
Yeah, Armor of Agathis is gone now. I don't know what it thinks I'm concentrating on.
Probably guidance from earlier.
Maybe.
You are hasted.
Um,
All right. That is your action.
Um,
Another singular attack.
So because of haste, I'm going to use my second as a regular booming blade attack, or booming blade. So
Booming
just
blade is a
whatever.
well, no,
It can't. You can only use it to attack.
correct. So booming blade is
But part of my attack, right?
No,
So
booming
like-
blade is
no.
cast
So
as spell
booming
action.
blade is a first level. Booming blade is a cantrip. She can absolutely do that. Booming blade.
Well, no, it
is-
says
nope,
your
it's
extra
one
action can only be
So-
taken to use
Yep,
the attack
so
action.
you can
attack,
either
attack action.
correct. So you can make a attack action against it.
Yep.
But that's like with my
It's just a
Fist,
normal
and then-
attack. Yep. Nothing else.
I don't think so.
Nope. It's just your thunder gauntlet punch. That's it.
I don't think so, but
So here's how it works. So you have, when you cast haste, that is an action, right? 13 on this. So when you cast haste spell, that is an action to cast the haste spell. That consumes your action. When you use that action, you don't get that extra attack because that extra attack is part of a standard action. Haste gives you a bonus attack action. It's separate from that initial action, unfortunately. So so if haste is cast on you, for instance, you would get your action, your second attack, because that attack action and then the bonus attack because you're hasted. So you only in this instance get that one extra hasted attack action. So,
I still disagree, but I'm going to try to find the information and show you why I disagree. So I'm going to go with it for now, but like I don't think that.
I'll show you after. But that is.
I mean, it says right there on the screen too, where you cast haste.
Haste is one action.
One weapon attack
Correct.
only.
So when you use an action, when you use your initial action, that eats up that action in its entirety. The attack action is a singular action, and that includes all its supplemental attacks. So because of that, you lose all of it. But because you're now hasted, you get a attack action as an additional action, right? So you're using that additional action to attack. That's why it works that way.
But because it's an attack action, like now I can't do Booming Blade with that action
You
anymore.
cannot at all.
Because
Interesting.
that is the
Because
cast a spell
yeah.
action.
Because Booming Blade is an action to cast the spell.
And then when you cast the spell, as part of the spell, you make an attack.
Yep. It's a very simple game. Anyways, anything else?
No.
Okay, it is this entity's turn. Let's see. Who did the most?
Jareth.
Yeah. Yeah, Jareth did the most damage, so it's going to reach out and attack Jareth with its Sand Scepter's Touch. That is a failure. Jareth is looking rough. And he failed his Constitution saving throw. He is now restrained. Alright, that'll end its turn. Gorman, you're up.
Alright, well, we're gonna go here.
It is going to use its reaction to strike out as she is moved to its square.
Ruh-roh.
Got Polearm Master. What the hell?
You watch as Goran moves forward, as a spectral, bony arm moves forward and lashes out at him, and Goran falls to the ground. Alright, that'll end your turn. Sorry, Goran. Eretho, you're up.
All right. Well, then in that case, bonus action, I'm going to sorry form at this guy.
Okay. $26 will hit. Yeah.
And then I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to there, and
Sorry,
I'm
you should be a little more hurt than he is. It's not calculating his damage correctly. I'll fix that real quick. He's looking pretty rough.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds. Let's do a second level
Okay.
on Gorwin.
Alright, you reach out your hand and you breathe life into Gordon again. Gordon, your chest expands and you just are conscious back to the world of the living.
And I'll use my last 5 feet just to get a little further away.
Alright, with that, it is Jareth's turn. Jareth will once again strike out at this entity. A 20 hitting. He will use a burst strike, his last munition. 3 will fail. Let's take 2 more points of damage.
Oh, didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
For a second attack, Jareth will strike out once again. Alright, that'll end Jareth's turn. Alright, Riva, it is your turn. This entity is looking real rough. Its
Yep.
skeletal form is trying to hold itself together at this point.
First thing I do is I go into my blade chant,
Okay.
and then I will and I will move 20 feet up to him, swing out with my shadow blade.
23 will hit. How do you want to do this?
Sneak attack as well. I'm just going to roll it. I can't roll it because he's dead. That's fine. So as I run out with my shadow blade, I just kind of let's say I leap off of here,
Uh-huh.
kind of like swinging down, and just as I land, facing away from it, I just kind of like behind me, like just swipe across its bony neck.
Okay. You
And
all
just-
watch as Riva jumps off from this point and becomes one with the shadows to the point where you saw him jump, but he just appears from the shadows of the railing of the ship and comes up and just cuts into this entity's throat. As he does so, it attempts to, yell out its final cry and just falls to the ground, to the earth below. And with that, we've ended combat. So,
There's a 25 for an acrobatics.
oh yeah. You just stand there on the railing looking at everyone else like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. And with that, we will move to... Oops. This one, sorry. We move to continuing to travel across the wasteland that is Taurinia. So, with that, we will end tonight's session. Well fought, well earned. Hell of a sesh. I'm very curious to see what happens.
Yeah, same.
So, yeah. Again, thank you everyone for being here. I'm super excited to see what's going on and what you all decide to continue to do. So, but thanks again. I'm ready for the next sesh.